UK champion Josh Taylor congratulates Anthony Joshua, says fair play to him for his victory over Andy Ruiz, but he doesn't see him beating Wilder or outboxing Tyson Fury looking like that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It does help the channel. Now, Josh Taylor, he just fought Regis Prograis earlier this year. Very good fight. He was victorious. He weighed in on Anthony Joshua's last battle, regaining his belts. And this is what he had to say. He said, fair play to AJ, Anthony Joshua, for getting his changed up and getting the tactics spot on. That being said, I still think he's been on his bike a little too much. Still looks really vulnerable. Boring fight, but fair play. You know. He goes on to say, hats off to Big AJ. Changed up his camp, changed what he had to do, but still on that performance, I don't see him surviving 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder or outboxing Fury, in my opinion. Listen, new media, we continue to control the narrative and, you know, give boxing a realistic look. And props to Josh Taylor, man. Straight up, the UK commentary oftentimes is extremely biased. You know, they'll act like we've seen the next coming of Mayweather. I gave props to Joshua because I didn't think he was going to win. I didn't think he would have disciplined 12 rounds, but I also thought Andy Ruiz would look like a fraction of the person that he was in June, you know. But Joshua did what he had to do. That's not his problem. Ruiz says he didn't train good, was eating bad, you know, just whatever. So when I did my prediction, those aren't things that I take into consideration because I have no knowledge of that. But it's good to hear a UK fighter and a champion, you know, guy coming off respective performance, where a world level performance too, because he fought Regis Prograis from New Orleans, from America, and you know, this was in the World Boxing Super Series. So these were the final two guys, and he unified. Very good performance. And I thought he won fair and square versus Regis Prograis. Some people, you know, may have had Regis Prograis. His eye got banged up, but very good to see a UK fighter be honest. That's what the game's lacking. I see a lot of commentary that's almost borderline parody and farcical from the UK. And Josh Taylor, I think he's calling it straight like it is. And it's great. It's great for new media because everything he just said is stuff I said, but sometimes it sounds good, I guess, coming from somebody else, you know, somebody else saying it. He said the fight was boring. AJ still looks vulnerable, but, you know, he did what he had to do. And then in this new tweet, he said, hats off to Big Anthony Joshua. He changed up his camp, changed up what he had to do, but on that performance, he does not see him surviving. Key word, surviving. That's an important word. Surviving 12 rounds with Wilder, aka that means he believes Wilder will knock him out. And he says he can't see him outboxing Tyson Fury like that. And I agree with both of those statements. However, Wilder is fighting Tyson Fury, so there can be only one in February. So I think Wilder beats Fury. You know, we'll have to wait and see what happens in that particular fight. But AJ probably won't have to worry about both. And then if he does have to worry about Fury, it could very well and very possibly be Fury coming off of a loss to Wilder, you know. So the big question everyone wants to know is Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Post-fight, he says he would love to unify the titles, but if you listen to his response, it did not sound at all convincing. He started talking about how it's difficult to unify. It just, let me see if I can find it. It did not sound good. Did not sound good. Okay, this is what he said. Anthony Joshua insists he definitely wants the undisputed fight with Deontay Wilder following the rematch. I'm sure PBC were hoping that Ruiz would win. That's what he said, but it didn't sound convincing, yo.
Yeah, definitely.
Deontay Wilder fight.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to, definitely. I'm united for...
Look at Eddie's face.
It's hard. It's difficult to keep them. It's difficult to unite them. I'm sure PBC were desperately rooting for Andy to win. But we came and put a little spanner in their works. But we'll see what happens, man. I'd love to unite the belts, but I think me chasing, same as in the fight, sometimes if I'm chasing the right hand or I'm chasing the left hook, it may come crashing down, and I realise that chasing that fight wasn't playing into my benefit. So I'm just going to let the path take its course. I've got great people managing me. I've got a great team. And when the opportunity presents itself to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, you know me by now, I'll definitely step up and take the challenge.
So that didn't sound convincing. So, you know, that's the only negative with Joshua reclaiming his belts. You know, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, Team Joshua, are going to play keep away, you know, and keep Wilder away from the belt, especially if he knocks out Tyson Fury. It's really going to be a wrap, because that's going to be a huge statement and strike fear in the hearts of men if Wilder knocks out Fury, who's a better boxer by nature. Like Joshua, they turned him into a boxer versus an undisciplined, kind of overweight Andy Ruiz, who wasn't pressuring like he did in the first fight. He looked overweight when he finally took his shirt off. And, you know, Joshua, to me, like Josh Taylor is saying, he looked vulnerable, and Andy Ruiz wasn't even really at his best. He didn't look like game plan, weight, and all that, the amount of pressure he applied. So we'll see. But I know Eddie Hearn is going to keep Joshua away, and that's the unfortunate thing about the heavyweight division. We want to see undisputed, and Joshua's saying he would fight Wilder, but you know it's not going to happen. He's going to look to fight Kubrat Pulev, Usyk, Dillian White too. You know, something else that people don't really want more than the Wilder fight. So Wilder, you know, he's going to have to wait until Joshua loses again, or, you know, they're waiting for Joshua to see vulnerabilities in Wilder and or Wilder to lose. And it's unfortunate. But shout out to Josh Taylor keeping it real. I agree with him. I do not see off of Joshua's performance. Listen, he did what he had to do to beat Ruiz, but Ruiz is a different animal. He's 6'2", Wilder's 6'7". Wilder has a longer reach. Wilder's can shut your lights off with one punch. Ruiz not as big of a puncher and doesn't have the longer arms, not as athletic, wasn't even in shape. These are all things you don't really have to worry about. We don't have to worry about Wilder being shorter than Joshua. You know, we don't have to worry about, you know, Ruiz's arm reach. Wilder's just a totally different fighter, and he has power where he can lose a fight, get outboxed, and then shut your lights off in one particular blink of an eye. And it's funny that Dillian White, he kept saying that Wilder's is mandatory and Wilder's afraid of him, but after a very difficult fight where him and Marish Weck didn't really look good, he did never call out Wilder. So all the cameras, all the DAZN camera crew, Sky Sport, and he does all those interviews calling out Wilder, saying Wilder's a bum, Luis Ortiz a bum, but it didn't look like he was satisfied with his performance because he didn't even mention Wilder. And then you heard AJ, he didn't really sound about it either. So unfortunate for Wilder, but I'm sure they'll come up with something. And Wilder's the king of the division. Told you. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.